First you're gonna hear red, 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 red. Come on now.
One girl's trash is another girl's trash too. Probably think he's gonna change for you.
Y'all, brand new evidence is exposing Malachi Barton as a serial cheater, and this did not come out calm, cute, or controlled in any way. Because before anyone even realized there was a breakup, Kylie had already gone quiet and hit unfollow. First Malachi and then Malia Baker. And the second that happened, people were like, wait, why did she just get removed too? Kylie is clearly furious, and when you really think about the fact that while Kylie and Malachi Barton were still very much together, Malachi was out here flirting with and actively pursuing Freya Sky, it starts to make sense. Like, okay, now we see why. Because this isn't just one person or one weird moment, it is multiple situations stacking up at the same time. So yeah, let's get straight into it because this whole situation spirals fast. For those who don't know, Kylie Cantrell and Malachi Barton were dating during the Descendants/Zombies Worlds Collide tour. It wasn't some blink and you miss it thing either. They were together for months, end of July through early October. Public enough that people noticed it, and private enough that they didn't overshare, but yet still very real.
Boyfriend, I'm nervous.
You're live? Sorry, I would have been here sooner. I was taking a
Now, the tour ends and suddenly they're broken up. No long explanation, no dramatic post, no we're taking time apart statement. It just quietly ends and everyone is left trying to figure out what even happened. At the time, nobody really knew the reason, so people started filling in the gaps on their own, saying it was probably distance, busy schedules, young Hollywood chaos, all the usual excuses people use when a breakup doesn't come with answers. However, this is where the story immediately takes a turn because allegedly while Kylie and Malachi were still together, Malachi was already flirting and chasing Freya Sky, and it wasn't subtle or innocent. People around them noticed, and Kylie felt that shift too when things stopped lining up. So instead of dragging it out or letting it turn into drama, she stepped away and quietly ended it after about 3 months. Now, you would think that that would be the end of it, but no. Because allegedly just 3 days after the breakup, Malachi is already hanging out with Malia Baker, and not casually either. They're together on the set of Camp Rock 3, constantly around each other, and according to people close to the situation, that's when things officially started between them.
But it's just so crazy that they were secretly dating, and it looks like now he's with one of her best friends.
And this is the part that made everyone pause because Malia Baker and Kylie Cantrell were friends. Now imagine being Kylie, trying to move on quietly, still friends with Malia, still texting her like everything's normal while not knowing that Malia is already dating her ex. Yeah, that part.
Yeah, it's great. So crazy to be like in this with everyone.
Oh my gosh. It is like our college experience a little bit.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
neither of us went to college.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but we would technically be doing that probably.
And it gets worse because Kylie didn't find out right away. She found out weeks later while she was still actively talking to Malia, completely unaware of what was even going on. And then comes the receipts because of course they do. Kylie's friend Mimi steps in and y'all, Mimi did not come to play. Mimi says, I don't want to say anything negative about anyone, but I do want to highlight something positive about Kylie. She handled everything with so much integrity. She then goes on to explain that even though Kylie was told Malachi hadn't been involved with anyone else on his show, she still sensed that it might not be fully true. So she chose to step away immediately to keep things respectful and avoid any messiness, ending it with, that says a lot about her. And truth be told, it really does. Of course, once all of this starts circulating, Malia's sister posts a picture of Malia and Malachi holding hands at a Christmas market, and that's when the fandom completely loses it. And let's not ignore this part either. The entire Descendants/Zombies cast knew Kylie and Malachi were dating. People around them were fully aware, which makes the whole situation feel even worse. Now, as if all of that wasn't crazy enough, Malachi's mom, Felicia Barton, goes live saying that his relationship isn't anyone's business, which, okay, say that if you want, but that didn't calm anything down, and if anything, it just made people feel like everything was being brushed off instead of addressed.
Always, since he was a kid, he's like a no drama kid, and I think he is going to always stay out of everything. You're not going to get him to respond to anything. I'm not responding to anything.
Let me be clear, nobody is saying Malia forced anything, but people are saying that as a friend, this was handled horribly. And what makes that even louder is the fact that Kylie hasn't dragged anyone publicly. The only thing she did was respond once, asking people to be respectful of her friend Mimi and saying the information was shared from a place of love and support. However, once all of this came out, the internet immediately started revisiting Malachi's past because suddenly people were like, wait a minute. This isn't the first time his name has been attached to overlapping rumors. Malachi Barton was previously linked to his Stuck in the Middle co-star, Ariana Greenblatt. On that show, they played siblings, Beast and Daphne Diaz, but their off-screen chemistry had people speculating for a while. The rumors got loud enough that both of them eventually shut it down, saying nothing romantic was going on.
Would you date Ariana?
Ariana Greenblatt?
Yep.
Okay, that's a hard one because there are so many rumors that we dated.
Did you?
No.
And sure, that situation was denied, but then there were also rumors linking Malachi to Ruby Rose Turner and Madison Lintz. None of those were ever confirmed, and a lot of people brushed them off at the time as fan speculation or harmless Disney Circle rumors.
Everything that I've ever liked is in my reposts.
If you only repost things you like, then why did you post so many Ruby Rose Turner?
Oh no! I'm just gonna be completely transparent. She was my childhood crush when I was on Stuck in the Middle.
But here's why people aren't brushing it off anymore. Because when someone is being exposed for overlapping timelines in one relationship, the internet naturally starts asking uncomfortable questions about the others. And since very little about those past situations was ever made public, people are saying it wouldn't actually be shocking if there were things we never knew about, especially now that there is a clear pattern of flirting, pursuing, and moving on quickly while still involved elsewhere. Now, of course, once people started pulling all of this together, the comments went absolutely crazy. One person straight up said, it's always a Disney trio. Hillary, Lindsay, and Aaron. Miley, Selena, and Nick. Olivia, Sabrina, and Josh. Now this, and let's be real, that comparison alone had people spiraling because nobody wanted to believe that this was turning into another messy Disney triangle situation. Another comment read, this has to be fake. If it's not a PR stunt, that's actually crazy. I thought Kylie and Malia were better than that, which really sums up how shocked people were, especially knowing that they were actually friends. And then this one. Dude, I feel like Malachi is a player. Like, I love him, but bro is making so many girls regretting being friends with him. Now, you guys, when comments like that start stacking up, people stop treating this like just one messy breakup or one rumor that got taken too far. Because at that point, it's not one thing anymore. It's multiple situations, multiple girls, overlapping timelines, and receipts lining up a little too neatly. And once you start seeing it like that, your brain starts going places like, okay, what else never made it online? What conversations stayed private? And how much of this was happening at the same time? Yeah, I'm gonna pause right there. Let me know what you think, because is this all just bad timing, or does this feel like a pattern nobody wanted to admit out loud? Now, y'all tell me, is this messy or is this messy? Because the math, still not mathing. And something tells me this isn't the last time we're gonna hear about Malachi Barton and overlapping timelines. Just saying.